Okay. Chemistry CA, term 1, week 2, first chemistry CA of the year. Which of the following increase the rate of a chemical reaction? أكيد increasing concentration, increasing temperature, increasing surface area, adding a catalyst. But volume will not increase. Which of the following best defines chemical kinetics? Chemical kinetics it is the study of reaction rates. All so far كله حفظ. How does the increase in concentration affect the reaction rate? According to collision theory. The collision theory, it states that if you increase the concentration, it will increase the frequency of collisions. And because you have more frequency of collision, more collisions, that means you'll have higher reaction rate. How can the rate of reaction increase if you have a block of wood burning with oxygen at a fixed temperature? Actually, you can cut the block of wood into smaller pieces to increase the surface area. That would increase the rate. Would you replace air by pure CO2? No. We're burning with oxygen. فلا. Grinding the wood means making it powder, so increasing surface area, which also increases the rate. Replacing air by pure O2, we're burning it with oxygen. If you replace it with pure O2, it will make it faster because it increases the concentration. Replacing air by nitrogen, no. Question 5. Which of the following is a series of reaction steps? It is called reaction mechanism. Which of the following is true about a catalyst? I got this one wrong because I didn't put this. Obviously, it provides a new path of lower activation energy. It consumes أكيد لا. Okay, what the catalyst does, it goes into reaction. It provides newer paths with lower activation energy. And what does it also do? It reacts with the reactants to form unstable intermediate products. It makes them so unstable that they don't need energy to react. Do you get what I mean? Okay, it makes them unstable so that they don't need that much energy to react. That's why it lowers the activation energy. Okay, so it does react. The catalyst does take part in the reaction, but the thing is, it just gets regenerated at the end of the reaction. Question 7. A gas jar containing N2 and H2 reacts to form NH3. Which of the following increases the rate of the above reaction? Part A, increasing the quantity of N2. Will that increase the rate? If you increase the quantity of N2, that means you're going to increase the moles of N2. And when you increase the moles of N2, you're increasing the concentration. When you increase the concentration, when you increase the concentration of the reactants, what will happen to the rate? Rate will increase. How about decreasing the quantity of H2? When you decrease the quantity, that means you decrease the number of moles. That means you decrease the concentration. And what happens when you decrease the concentration? The rate will decrease. So it will decrease the rate. فأكيد this one is wrong. Decreasing the volume occupied by the mixture. But why do you want to decrease the volume? Listen, C equals N over V. If you decrease the denominator, that means your answer will be larger. For example, 8 divided by 2, 8 divided by 4. Let's say I'm starting with 8 divided by 4. Which is bigger, 8 over 4 or 8 over 2? Akid 8 over 2, because you're dividing by a smaller number. Akid, if you're dividing by a less volume, then your concentration will be higher. So if you decrease the volume, it will increase concentration, therefore leading to a higher rate. Now, see, this is the opposite, increasing the volume. Akid, if you increase the volume, it will decrease concentration. Question 8. What speeds up a reaction and is regenerated? We all know it's a catalyst. Make sure you know how to spell it properly. C-A-T-A-L-Y-S-T. Question 9. In 3 different experiments, equal masses of excess calcium carbonate will react with the same volume of hydrochloric acid. So excess, the calcium carbonate is excess. In each experiment, one factor affecting the reaction rate was changed. The volume of carbon dioxide, okay, it's measured, blah, blah, blah. So they want to see which one is which. Lower temperature. Will the final product decrease or change if you're only changing the temperature? No. Remember, it will only change the final product if you change the concentration of the limiting. In this case, we're changing only the temperature, and it's a lower temperature, it will only affect the rate. And if it only affects the rate, that means it will affect the steepness of the curve. And since it's lower, it has a less steepness, so it will be B. A lower concentration of hydrochloric acid. هلا hydrochloric acid is the limiting because they said calcium carbonate is the excess, so actually the hydrochloric will be the limiting. Since we have a lower concentration of the limiting, what will happen? We will have less product, فأكيد it will be C. Using in lumps rather than powdered calcium carbonate. Lumps, instead of making it powder, we made bigger pieces. With these lumps, they have less surface area. For what does that mean? It will have a lower rate, so it will affect the steepness to be less steep. The addition of a catalyst, أكيد when you add the catalyst, it increases the rate of the reaction, so it will be A. Question 10, you have to label each one. أكيد A will be the potential energy of the reactants. See here, this is the energy over here, potential energy. C will be the potential energy of the products. This is the products here. The activated complex will be all the way at the top. B. Activation energy of the forward. Activation energy represents the energy from the reactants to the activated complex. So it will be Y. And enthalpy change will be the difference between the reactants and the products. So the line in between them. Okay. Upon the addition of a suitable catalyst, what happens when you add a catalyst? Remember, the catalyst decreases the activation energy. So the value of X remains constant. Did we say decreases delta H? No. We didn't say anything about delta H. Delta H stays the same. The enthalpy change stays the same. X is the enthalpy change. While the value of Y decreases because Y is the activation energy. So the activation energy will be changed, will become less. What is this reaction? Is it exo or endo? Look, the energy of the product is less than the reactants. فأكيد exothermic. Question 11. Based on the collision theory, what happens when you have decrease in temperature? The reaction rate will decrease because the number of effective collisions between the particles decreases. Question 12. You have this reaction, IO3HSO, whatever. In general, okay, I don't know why I put K. If the concentration of IO3 is decreased, what happens to the rate of reaction? Akid, if you decrease, this is in the reactants, if you decrease the concentration of the reactant, what will happen to the rate? To decrease. Okay, here. How can you measure the reaction rate in this case? It can either, remember, the reaction rate can be measured by amount of product produced per time or reactant consumed per time. In this case, I chose H2O produced per unit time because it's a product produced per time. Okay. Question 14. In a reaction mechanism, which one is the rate determining step? The rate determining step is always the slowest one. Thank you so much for watching and good luck.